My Italian Sundae. It is so delicious and so decadent. And it's adult because I'm using coffee ice cream, but we can easily make it kid-friendly by just using a vanilla, a chocolate, or some other type of flavor, and my kids love this. So first thing I'm going to do is show you how to make a chocolate ganache. This is really super simple. It sounds fancy, it sounds hard, but it's not. So what I have is a pot of boiling water, and I'm just going to stick a bowl right on top. I've got my chopped chocolate in here. You can see I've just chopped it up pretty consistently because you don't want it to be one big chunk and then a small chunk. You want it to be as consistent as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start stirring this up, melting the chocolate, let it melt, just let the steam melt it. The reason you don't want to put chocolate right on top of directly on top of the heat is because it'll burn it really easily. You don't want to scorch chocolate, so you put it over boiling water. This is considered, a really makeshift double boiler. And you can do that. You don't have to go out and buy a fancy double boiler. You can just do, a bowl right over top of a pot of boiling water. So I'm going to add that in, and really I can just go ahead, once this starts melting, the chocolate starts melting, just go ahead and pour in the cream. Ganache is really just cream and chocolate mixed together. That's what a chocolate ganache is. So mixing this together, and then what will happen is once this is mixed up really well, the cream will start thickening with the chocolate. And once you refrigerate this, it gets really thick. So once you've got the chocolate ganache made, the cream and the chocolate's been blended together, and you've used it, and when you cover it and refrigerate it, it'll be hard again, but what you need to do is you can put it right back over a boiling pot of water, if you want to just melt it that way, and it'll start thinning out again. It'll start getting really smooth and chocolatey again. You can also just pop it in a microwave for just a really quick few seconds, 30 seconds or so, and it'll get smooth again as well. You don't want to get a pot and a bowl dirty. You don't have something extra to clean. I'm going to do it really quickly. I try to make people's lives easier, so by my cooking techniques. Don't want to have to clean anything if you're a busy mom, you're coming home, you're running around, trying to get dinner on the table, trying to give kids the dessert, and you're trying to get bath and bed done. I get it. With 4 kids, trying to get it all done before 7:30, which is our bedtime. So, okay, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. I'm turning my heat off now. I'll take the bowl off of the heat because look at this. Wow. Look at that. Nice and thin. The chocolate, there's still little bits and pieces in here that are melting, but they'll get melted. But once this is really, you can see the sheen on the chocolate. Once you have that chocolate sheen, look at that. That's absolutely perfect. Once you have that, you can pull it right off the heat. Because then what happens is if you go too far, you'll start seeing the oils come out of the chocolate. That means it's starting to separate. You don't want that. Once that happens, you've gone too far. Pull it off the heat, and you can actually add in either a little more chocolate or even a little more cream to bring it back. That's how you save it from breaking too much. So this is perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually roast my hazelnuts. So maybe if you're having a hard time, you're saying, I can never find roasted hazelnuts. Don't worry about it. Just buy the raw, and you roast them yourself. And I'll show you how to do that really quickly. I've got my pan hot already. Again, this is my hard anodized pan. This is a stick-resistant pan. It doesn't have any coating. This is not a non-stick. I always say to people who ask, what is a hard anodized pan? Well, you have stainless steel and you have a non-stick pan. The hard anodized is right in the middle. That's what my hard anodized pan is. It's right in the middle. It's very similar the way it cooks to a light cast iron. So it's got this really beautiful these hills and valleys and peaks and valleys in it, and the food really hovers over it, but it doesn't have any coating in it, so it won't peel and chip. It will last you forever. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add in and just do a dry toasting. I'm not adding oil to it. I'm just going to toast them dry, and you just leave them on the heat, and you kind of just pick the pan up every once in a while and toss them around on medium heat. Nuts are high in fat, but they're good fats. Those are those really good monosaturated fats. Those are good for your heart. Those are good for your body. Those are the fats you need. They're called the good fats. So what you want to do, because they are high in fats, they toast really quickly. And so you don't want to walk away from nuts. You don't want to go and answer your emails or answer the telephone. Or that's not a time to call your friends and chat for a long time. Don't walk away from this. And matter of fact, if there's someone else in the kitchen and you're trying to multitask, make sure you tell someone else there's either nuts in the oven or nuts on the stove to help you watch them because they go fast. And you can already see, I can smell them already toasting. It's literally like 45 seconds to a minute that it takes for hazelnuts especially to toast. And I can already see them getting nice and brown. Okay, and there we have it. They're done. It's that quick. So I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to put these on my cutting board really carefully. I'm not going to chop them all at once. I'm going to chop a little bit at a time because they roll around. And you start off really carefully so you don't have them flying, because they are little, hazelnuts are little balls. It's not as easy as like chopping pecans or something that lays flat. These are like little balls, so they will go flying all over the kitchen. So I'm going to start chopping them until they are halved, so they do lay down flat, and then makes it easier. Okay, so just go through them carefully so all those little balls are now laying flat, and then you can just go for it. Okay, perfect. Now I can go a little bit faster. Just rough chop them. These don't have to be, you know, you're making an Italian Sundae, so, you know, rough chop them so you have some nice texture and bites. You know, I love hazelnuts. They have the best flavor, and, you know, you don't want them too fine. You want to bite into them and have a really good crunch from the hazelnuts. Oh, there we go. So just a nice rough chop. And there we have it. We're ready. Now we can start making our sundae. So we've got the ganache. I've got my ganache made, and I actually made some as well earlier. So look at this. Got my ganache. I've got a nice little sundae that you can make it a little nice sundae glass here. I made a little vanilla bean whipped cream. I've got my hazelnuts. I'm going to actually, I have some chopped here, but I'm going to actually just use some that are warm that I just made. And I have my coffee ice cream. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, I'm going to do a scoop here of the coffee ice cream right in there. And again, you can use any ice cream. I love the coffee because this is kind of a fun adult dessert that you can do after a dinner party if you have your friends over. And I like laying it all out so people can just kind of come, maybe have different flavors of ice cream. Everybody has their favorites. Have a few different flavors laid out for people, and everybody can kind of come and make their own. Maybe have a few liqueurs laid out as well if they want to add a little alcohol to it and have some fun with it. Okay, put some of that on there. Nice. Have that going on. Then some of the chocolate ganache can go on. Oh my gosh, look how decadent. Is this not, okay, this is something, you know, you can't have this every day of the week. Okay, this is something you work up to. Okay, hit that gym and then you can enjoy it on the weekends. All right, nice dollop of whipped cream. There we go, look at that. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. This is a thing of beauty. This is a thing of decadence and beauty. And then kind of have a little bit of chocolate grated on it. I mean, you might as well go for it, right? Look at that. Absolutely stunning. I don't even think you need the mint on it, but why not? We'll stick a pretty little piece of mint in it just to say there's something green and healthy on it, but everybody's going to pick it and throw it off, so. But there you go. Look at that. Is that beautiful? Okay, I can't wait to eat it, so we got to cut the cameras off. See you later.